So I just finished up part one of Rebel Moon, the director's cut. Listen, when the Rebel Moon trailers came out, when the Rebel Moon director's cut trailers came out, I sat there and said at the end of the trailer, I was like, I feel like a lot of people are gonna owe Zack Snyder an apology, and I stand right because the director's cut was so much better than that the PG version we got, man. Dude, and it's not just because it was more blood, more violence, more sex and nudity, although I did enjoy that. But there was a lot more to this movie than what we saw in the PG-13 version. Like 1000%, man. Watching this just kind of reminded me of how Batman v Superman was chopped up and cut up, and then the theatrical cut was terrible, and then here comes the real version. And we was like, wow, this movie is like 1,000 times better. This is exactly what that reminded me of. There was much more character building on here. It was just 10 minutes into the movie, I was like, yes, I could already tell this was about to be a better movie than what we got for the PG-13 version. I don't know. I'm weird. Normally, when it comes to like TV shows and movies, it just takes me 5 to 10 minutes, and I'll be able to tell if it's a vibe for me. 10 minutes in, I was like, I'm sold. This is good. I'm loving it. Zack Snyder set the tone out in the very first 5 to 10 minutes, man. The movie is way better than the first Rebel Moon. Now, when I gave my reviews on the first two Rebel Moons, the part one and part two, the PG-13 versions, I said I reserve judgment until I see the director's cut, but I did give those movies a grade. I'm pretty sure I gave it like a 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10, somewhere around there. It was along the basis of it was only a movie I could watch one time. It didn't excite me. I wasn't excited for those movies or whatnot after watching them. After watching this movie, man, I could watch this movie again. I could watch it again. But I gotta watch part two. I just finished part one. But I could watch part one again. It is 3 hours, so I don't know when I'm gonna watch part two. I gotta get 3 hours of free time, and then I'm gonna watch part two. But man, out of 10, I'm gonna give this an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. Now, in the very first Rebel Moon movie that came out, I remember the first one was it was really kind of boring, I ain't gonna lie. The PG-13 version. But when the second one came out, it was a lot better because it was a lot more action. So, I mean, this one was good. But I really feel like part two is going to be probably the best one. And I feel like I'm going to give it like a 9.5. I just feel it. I feel it because I like the PG-13 version of part two better. Way better than part one. Now, when it comes to to the Rebel Moon movies, man, I remember Joe Rogan having Zack Snyder on his podcast, and Zack Snyder said he was trying to make this like death metal. I think I'm not 1,000% sure on that, but he was like his inspiration was from death metal or something along the basis. I don't know what that is. Whatever it is, I like it. I like it. This is why I reserve judgment until I watch the director's cut. If you guys are on the fence of if you should watch the director's cut of Rebel Moon, I say give it a shot, man. This movie compared to the PG-13 movie it's totally different. Just totally different. It's way different, man. So much we didn't see, especially going back on the character building and stuff. In general, man, it is a long movie, not gonna lie, but I was not bored throughout the whole 3 hours. I'll be honest with y'all, I was not bored. I was like, wow, this is intense. Like, this is some crazy, dark, intense stuff. I was entertained, man. Part two, I feel like it's gonna be better. Just for the simple fact that I like the PG-13 version part two better than the part one on the PG-13 version. But I like this version. I'm gonna give it an 8. But I feel like I'm gonna rank the part two higher than the part one. But man, if you're on the fence of watching, I suggest go watch it, man. It's really so much. I ain't trying to make this too long, man. But hey, Zach, you already know I was with you, man. If you ever see my videos, I don't know, you might watch. I know y'all watch. I'm a big supporter. I knew the PG-13 version wasn't your true stuff, so that's why I said I'm reserving judgment. Hey, I give this an 8 out of 10, man. I liked it. Can't wait to watch part 2. Just got to get 3 hours. Maybe I might be able to do that tomorrow. I'm not sure yet, but if you're on the fence, man, I definitely say give it a shot, man. It didn't let me down. I don't think it'll let y'all down, man. So, it was some other things I wanted to say, but it's so much in the movie, man, and I'm not trying to make this too long, man. So, yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10. Zach, you did your thing, man. Can't wait to watch part 2. And that's what it is, man. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought, man. Have you seen Rebel Moon, the director's cut yet? If you have, post it in the comments down below. What would you give it out of 10? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one, man. 100,000 subscribers is grind time. Let's get it.